Nice of you to finally join us.
Here's the squad. Clown, our pyrotechnic specialist. Stewart, tech specialist.
It's not Stewart, it's Rampage.
Slug, our hacker extraordinaire. John, HR.
Hi, I'm John. My parents didn't say I love you, so now I play with knives.
That was actually funny.
Trash!
What is trash? Delete.
God
Uninstall.
damn.
Trash. Trash.
After 3 years gathering dust in the Marvel vault, IronHeart has finally been inflicted on the world, and it is, by far, the worst thing Marvel has ever produced in nearly 20 years of MCU history. Today, we're dissecting the spectacular, creative, and logical disaster that is Marvel's IronHeart. We'll unravel its hammy acting, nonsensical dialogue, and a protagonist drenched in hypocrisy, exposing how this cringe-inducing calamity, laden with dated identity politics, is the absolute worst possible outcome for Marvel in a year, already plagued by high-profile flops. When a major franchise attempts to adapt its content for modern audiences, what's the most common mistake they make that alienates longtime fans? Is it forced messaging, poor writing, or simply a misunderstanding of their core appeal? Share your biggest pet peeve below. Let's get this over with quickly, because this show is a painful experience. IronHeart picks up with nobody's favorite character, Riri Williams, a graduate student at MIT. We find her already embroiled in controversy, having been busted helping other students cheat on their exams for money. Riri's central motivation is baffling. She claims she's angry because she wants more resources to make Iron Man tech available to everyone and become even more famous than Tony Stark, a character who, in her bizarre assessment, apparently only succeeded because he was a billionaire. The sheer audacity of this perspective is infuriating. Here's a character who has already been given a free scholarship at the most prestigious university in the entire country, complete with 4 years of funding to construct your very own Iron Man suit, and yet that's still not enough for you? The level of arrogance and entitlement is staggering. Does she not realize how many people would literally kill to be in your position right now? It's a ridiculously arrogant and entitled display. Furthermore, her desire to make Iron Man suits widely available reveals a profound lack of foresight. I hate to break it to you, sweetheart, but there's a very obvious reason why Iron Man suits aren't widely available in this world. And if you stop to think about it for just a second, I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out too. When Riri, quite rightfully, faces expulsion from MIT for her blatant academic misconduct, specifically causing massive property damage and subverting the school exam system, her response is nothing short of audacious. She does the logical thing for a character meant to be a hero. She steals the very Iron Man suit that she already built with university funding and takes it for herself. This act of grand theft, committed by the protagonist, immediately raises questions about the show's messaging, especially for a series supposedly all about challenging racial stereotypes. The irony is palpable. You're really not sending out the message you think you are with this one. Upon her return home to Chicago, Riri engages in another baffling technological feat. She clones her own brain to make an AI for the suit, a capability that, in this universe, I guess is something you can just do now. This AI inexplicably somehow morphs into her dead friend Natalie, who was tragically killed in a drive-by shooting years earlier. The character of Natalie as an AI is equally problematic. How exactly can I describe Natalie? Well, imagine Jarvis, but now he's an insufferable a-hole with the personality of an abrasive teenage girl from the hood who constantly fuss things up for the main character. The creation of such a stereotypical and annoying sidekick only adds to the show's creative misfires. As Riri attempts to scrape together enough money to repair her suit, a struggle that prompts the sarcastic observation, "Life is hard when you actually have to work and pay for stuff, isn't it?" She's approached by a mysterious figure named Parker. This encounter quickly leads to an offer for Riri to join his ethnically and sexually diverse criminal gang, which includes a particularly unique individual whose appearance elicits a bewildered, "What even is this show, man?" Parker's proposition is simple. In return for Riri using her Iron Man suit to help them steal from people, she'll receive all the money and resources she needs. And because, in the warped morality of this series, stealing and breaking the law is only bad if other people do it, Riri immediately accepts his offer. This decision is bafflingly illogical. Does she not realize that she could just take this kind of technology to any major tech firm in the country, and they'd give you so much cash you could swim in it, right? Or perhaps she could approach Wakanda. They seem like they'd be more than happy to have someone of your talents on board. Yet no, her chosen path is to throw your hand in with a bunch of Fing criminals you've never even met before, led by a man so obviously shady he's literally wearing a villain's pantomime cape on the vague promise of financial rewards later. What are you, Fing? The problematic characterizations in IronHeart extend beyond Riri and Natalie. The show introduces a black market arms dealer dealer, who, for inexplicable reasons, is a total a-hole that immediately caves into her demands, gives her everything she wants, and acts like a complete simp for the rest of the show. The commentary sarcastically highlights the glaring racial dynamic. Oh F, here we go again. Oh my goodness, what are the chances that the one and only white guy in this show would turn out to be a completely submissive beat? Yeah, this stuff just writes itself, doesn't it? This particular character, later revealed to be the son of Obadiah Stane from the first Iron Man film, because of course he is, adds another layer of narrative contrivance. The explanation for his villainous path is equally nonsensical. He doesn't want to follow in his dad's footsteps, which is why he has become a black market arms dealer. Wait, what? This illogical character development only further detracts from the show's credibility. Despite the questionable alliances and baffling motivations, Riri and the gang manage to complete their first heist together. However, Riri, in a sudden burst of suspicion, begins to question Parker and the mysterious hood he's always wearing. This vague mistrust inexplicably triggers a chain reaction of mistrust, revelations, and revenge that threatens to tear the gang apart. The dramatic question then hangs in the air, but will Riri be able to stop Parker and free him from the control of the hood, or will his dark powers destroy all of them? The answer, as the commentary dryly concludes, is who the fuck cares? Watching the first 3 episodes of IronHeart is described as some weird exercise in self-flagellation. It is truly something unique in the MCU, but for all the wrong reasons. The show masterfully combines the worst aspects of everything we've come to hate about this franchise. It embodies the pandering and heavy-handed racial politics of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where messaging overrides compelling storytelling. It suffers from the trite and predictable girl bossing of The Marvels and Wakanda Forever, showcasing female protagonists whose strength feels manufactured rather than earned. It embraces the moral flexibility of Black Widow, where doing horrible things is just fine if you happen to tick the right diversity boxes, a dangerous and inconsistent ethical framework. And, perhaps most egregiously, it's saturated with the cringe-inducing attempts at humor of, well, everything they've done since Endgame, really. This disastrous combination makes the infamous Robin in the Hood look like a masterpiece of urban fantasy. By comparison, Parker's criminal gang, far from being formidable, is dismissed as the most laughable collection of hapless retards I've seen assembled on screen since Zack Snyder last made a movie, a severe indictment of the show's supporting cast and action sequences. The show even features Alden Ehrenreich, who, the commentary states, must be undergoing some kind of humiliation ritual Hollywood's putting through after Solo, because his appearance in trash like this cannot possibly be worth it. Riri Williams, the supposed new face of Marvel, possesses all the charm and likability of Rachel Zegler, only without the singing ability, a harsh but pointed critique. The show even makes a baffling point of Riri not wanting to diss Tony Stark, implicitly suggesting that she actually could and should verbally destroy him, but chooses not to in her magnanimous wisdom. This forced reverence, coupled with the underlying suggestion that she is somehow superior to the original Iron Man, is deeply unappealing to audiences who cherish the foundational characters of the MCU. Furthermore, the show's messaging feels painfully dated. It's overtly commissioned during a very different time in American culture, from the murals of dead community members to the omnipresent Black Lives Matter posters and the constant reminders that things are just so much harder for people like Riri because of how she was born. The show feels like a relic. It's actually kind of crazy now to think that stuff like this was once shockingly close to becoming the norm in cinema. However, that was then and this is now, and the cultural zeitgeist is well and truly moved on, leaving behind shows like IronHeart as dated relics of a time most people would rather forget. This fundamental misreading of the current cultural landscape is a major reason for its failure. If anyone from Marvel who happens to be watching this video is wondering why all your new projects are failing and your franchise is falling apart, the answer is clear. It's because of SH Jati like IronHeart. It's preachy, unimaginative, derivative, low-effort crap, relentlessly recycling ideas that have already been done far better, only with a DEI paint job slathered all over it. It represents the very worst of everything audiences dislike about your brand now, and is directly contributing to Marvel's projected 3 failed movies in a row this year. If you're finding this unfiltered takedown of Marvel's latest misstep as cathartic as watching a poorly constructed suit explode, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We're dedicated to dissecting the biggest disappointments in pop culture, ensuring you stay in the know. Your support helps us continue calling out the dross. In conclusion, IronHeart is not just a creative misfire, it's a profound miscalculation by Marvel Studios. It encapsulates the very criticisms that have plagued the MCU's recent output: heavy-handed messaging, uninspired writing, and a fundamental misunderstanding of what made the franchise beloved in the first place. The show's protagonist, Riri Williams, is rendered unlikable by her pervasive entitlement and questionable moral compass, while the supporting cast and narrative choices only compound its weaknesses. I don't know what it would have cost to fucking cancel IronHeart forever, but the comment commentary asserts, trust me, it absolutely would have been worth it. This series stands as a stark warning sign, a prime example of crash and burn in spectacular fashion. It serves as a grim reminder that even the biggest franchises can stumble when they prioritize a perceived agenda over genuine storytelling and character development. In this case, IronHeart is a self-inflicted wound, and Marvel has no one to blame but themselves.